Hello, AP Physics 1. Today we are going to review the pre-lab discussion for our circular motion lab. What you're going to do is I'm going to show some brief demonstrations of what we're going to do, and you're going to design a lab, basically a rough copy of what to do next class meeting so that we are ready to go. So what we're going to be doing is we have this setup here. We have a rubber stopper. This is what you've used in chemistry class before. They come in all various shapes and sizes and masses. This one I have here is about the size of a hockey puck. So during this lab we will need to use safety glasses. So a hockey puck at the eyeball is probably not going to tickle. So we need to have some safety precautions. So also what we have here is, hold on one second, is we have a tube that the string goes through, and the string is attached to the stopper, and we have a hanging mass. So what we're going to have to practice is being able to spin the stopper right above our heads and have the hanging mass hang, and try and get it so that our string up top is as horizontal as possible, and we are not having the length of the string, aka the radius of our circle or circular motion, change. So if you go too fast, the mass rises. If you go too slow, it falls. So in our lab, we're going to have to pick some independent variables to test one at a time. So I can let you know that there are several experiments that we're going to do. So some things that we can change. Again, we have a stopper, which comes in different sizes and masses. You can see the difference here. One is about the size of a hockey puck. We do have hanging masses, which we can put more or take off mass. And you saw the radius of my circle, my string change. So a few things that we want to make sure. One being, how many experiments are we going to do? Meaning, how many different variables can we change? How many IVs can we have? The second thing, how will you change that variable? And by what increments? By how many grams, newtons, pounds, ounces, meters per second squared? By how many of those are you going to change it by? We looked at our friction lab that, if we only have a small change, we're only going to expect a small change, if at any. Since we do have different experiments and we're changing different independent variables, how will you keep the other independent variables, aka the constants, constant? How are you going to make sure that you do that? And for our dependent variable, what is our dependent variable going to be? What are we going to measure? And how are we going to accurately measure that? That should be a y, got erased. So it's how will you accurately measure that? So in your groups, take some time to discuss some things that you're going to change and design a rough copy of your procedure. Feel free to use the textbook, online resources. Part of the assignment for you to do today and over the weekend is to read through chapter 5 and look at the PowerPoint notes. This may lead to some things that you can change, meaning independent variables, and how to measure them. So we're going to get going as soon as I see you on Monday during IE, hopefully being able to collect all the data within that period and the next day's IE or block day session. So I'll see you then.